Now a parenting alert about how to help your daughters be more confident. It's all part of a new book out today. It is called The Confidence Code for Girls. We're going to speak with the authors in just a moment, but first I sat down with a group of tweens to talk about the struggles that they're facing. Raise your hand if you'd like to be more confident.
These New York girls between 12 and 14 years old are entering an age of self-doubt.
In this age group, do you think you just naturally start to doubt yourself a little bit more?
Absolutely. Like looking in the mirror is sometimes so hard.
Why do you start doubting yourself a little bit more?
As you get older, you tend to think more about what other people think of you rather than what you think of yourself. And you're like, oh, maybe this is true. Or like, and then start doubting yourself.
And it's hard to get out of your head once you believe it as well. But really deep down inside of you, you know it's not true. But when you keep hearing it over and over again, you're like, oh my God, this is true.
And they're not just worrying what others think. They say the fear of failure can be paralyzing.
How scary is failure?
Oh. Very scary. Like on a scale from 1 to 10, 10.
I keep thinking way too far ahead, like,
Same.
What college am I gonna get into? If I get a bad grade on a test, then I'll like overreact and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Just like you.
Yeah, literally, I used to say this in elementary school. I'm like, if I don't get into a good middle school, then I'm gonna end up in a bad high school, and then I'm gonna end up in a bad college with a bad job, and living in my parents' basement, and then I'm gonna die alone. So me, I've thought about that so many times.
This fear of failure is not uncommon. In the new book, The Confidence Code, authors Claire Shipman and Katty say that between ages 12 and 13, the percentage of girls who say they're not allowed to fail increases by 60%. Impacting life choices.
So just recently they had tennis tryouts and I'm pretty good, but yeah, I didn't do it.
Why didn't you go for it?
I was afraid I was gonna mess up.
Do you feel like you're gonna live with that regret for a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
In art class, there will be these competitions, and I've like started some pieces, but I haven't entered any of them because like I'm scared that people aren't gonna like it.
While they are afraid to fail, Shipman and Kay say they believe taking risks might build their confidence.
For me, it's like both failing and winning, because like if I win, I know like I can do it.
And it's taking that chance that just might be the key to cracking the confidence code.
Do you think your confidence would grow if you took more risks?
Definitely.
Taking risks is like the biggest part of confidence, because if you take a risk, then you like get that feeling that you know that you can do something, and then it gives you more confidence, and then you keep doing more things, and then you kind of reach the peak.
Taking risks can be so empowering. Now, authors Claire Shipman and Katty are here. Welcome. Congratulations on this book. It is so insightful. Now, Claire, you conducted a poll, and we're seeing a significant dip in confidence levels in girls ages 8 to 12. Why is that?
We were startled. We teamed up with Y-Pulse, a research firm, and we found that between the ages of 8 and 14, confidence is dropping for girls by 30%. In fact, this is when the confidence gap between men and women starts, and girls are 22% less likely to call themselves confident. Why is it? Well, first of all, we have to remember, how do we make confidence? Essentially, it's not what you think. It's by taking risks, struggling a little bit, failing, and working through that process. So right at puberty, our EQ, our emotional intelligence soars, but that makes us more cautious, often people pleasers. Parents and teachers play into this unwittingly because they encourage the good girl syndrome. Who doesn't want kids who are always doing everything right? Girls are much better at that, by the way, than boys are, of course. But by the time girls are in high school, they're full-blown perfectionists, and guess what they're not doing? Taking risks.
They're not taking
or
risks.
failing.
You just mentioned taking risks and failing. And Katty, what can we do as parents to empower our daughters to become more confident?
Well, some of this is counterintuitive, right? Because we want to cosset them and protect them. But actually what we really need to do is get our daughters comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable, because you build confidence when you try stuff that is new and hard and you get out of your comfort zone. You don't do it from doing the easy stuff. You have to get out of that comfort zone. But when we watch our girls struggle, it's terrible for us as parents. It breaks our hearts. We don't want them to do it.
It's heart-wrenching.
We have to get used to the idea that struggling is good, and we have to get our girls used to the idea that struggling is good. And by the way, boys are doing this much more than girls are.
Interesting. And that might be why they have those higher confidence levels. Okay, so I think we're all kind of catching on to this, right? So what we're going to do, our audience, we're going to see if you know how to navigate this. We're going to survey them with a few questions. We gave you guys little clickers. Everybody have your clicker in hand. And we want to see if you get these answers correct, okay? So the first question question. No pressure at all, okay? The first question, which is most important for gaining confidence? Is it A, self-esteem? Is it B, struggle? Is it C, setting goals? Or is it D, success? So audience, if you could weigh in, we'll give you a couple seconds. And when the results are ready, we'll see those up on the wall.
I love this.
Isn't this great?
We can actually
Survey
see
says
whether we're...
Which is most important for gaining confidence is self-esteem. What say you, ladies?
You haven't learned yet. I'm kidding. Actually, when we thought self-esteem and confidence were equivalent when we were writing the book, but in fact, the most important thing for confidence of those four is struggle.
Incredible.
And I know it seems counterintuitive, but it's because it's that process again. You have to take risks, fail, do things you're hard at, work through that process. It's a struggle. Then you build confidence.
One more question real quick. It's always better to be over-prepared. True or false? Survey says from the audience, true or false? What say you? They say, oh, it's a dead heat.
Wow.
And what is the answer, Katty?
You guys have given me a tie.
Katty,
Listen, being over-prepared is super exhausting. Way better actually to let your girls fail, get them used to the idea of failing,
Katty,
and give them
Claire,
a chance to change the channel when they do.
You're going to be back tomorrow because we have so much more to talk about.
Thank you.